AFC Divisional Round, Baltimore Ravens at the Buffalo Bills here, and this is going to be a game that we're going to look at, Tom. 2020 record for Baltimore, 11-5. Buffalo Bills sitting there at 13-3.
This is a very intriguing matchup to me for the Ravens against the Bills. The Bills at home absolutely helps them out. That makes life a little bit easier on their end. So I am very curious to see who ends up having the advantage. Both of these teams have different strengths and weaknesses. The Ravens have a good defense, a great ground game. The Bills have the better passing quarterback right now, which is not something I would have said a little bit ago.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt. When you really look at the game that really got to this point, I had the Tennessee Titans going to end up winning this one, but Baltimore took care of business. Titans got out to a 10-0 lead and then really slowed down the running game of Derrick Henry. I mean, look at that. 18 carries, 40 yards, couldn't really get any of the mojo going. And then Baltimore, Lamar Jackson hears all week, all year that he can't win in the playoffs, throws an absolute duck of an interception, and then since that pick, he was absolutely phenomenal, especially in the ground game. This is going to be one of those matchups, Tom, that I can't wait to watch.
I think it might be the best matchup we get all weekend.
Oh, I'm
frankly.
with you. I am with you on that.
I'm excited. Meanwhile, look, Ravens won the big game, and I think at some level they were really hyped up for this one. I wonder how they handle okay, now we got to get hyped up again for another big game, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And this team is playing probably the best football.
They were ready to go out on that midfield logo.
Oh, dude.
Just keep that in mind.
As soon as that happened, I see Marcus Peters running out there. I'm like, oh, no, he's going to do it. And he ended up doing it. Also, speaking of that, though, the Buffalo Bills, they took care of business against the Indianapolis Colts, and you're going to see that number 7 seed. Indy, they were a lot better than number 7 seed. 10-6, awesome running game, great defense. But really what it came down to, Josh Allen. And if Aaron Rodgers wouldn't be playing on such a ridiculous level, Allen would be getting some MVP votes. To be honest with you, I'd give Josh Allen an MVP vote over I would a guy like Patrick Mahomes because he's doing a lot more for that team. The only thing that scares me, the third-year quarterback, it's a lot to handle for –
especially when the ground game isn't there.
It's gone. And Zach Moss, I don't believe he's playing in this one.
No, he's out. Devin Singletary had 3 carries for 21 yards. Like, Josh Allen was the focal point of this team. It's very funny to me because entering this year, I'm like, okay, Allen takes a step forward. The ground game should be better this year. The defense is going to remain strong. If they get good play from Josh Allen, they're going to be dangerous. They've gotten great play from Josh Allen, and he's the core reason why this team is where they're at. They need Josh Allen to continue to carry them going forward.
Absolutely. And today's we got some awesome betting odds out there for you. Total over-under in this one, 50 points. I'm going to bet the over. I'm going to bet some points.
27-24 game, right around there.
And then the Bills are favored by 2.5. Give me the Bills to cover. Give me the over as well. I think it's going to be a 3-point game. No? Where are you going?
I don't know about that. I am very intrigued by the Ravens. And again, it comes back to that matchup thing I mentioned earlier. The Ravens can run the football with the best of anyone. That's what the Bills haven't done a great job of this season.
Yep.
Stopping the run. That concerns me come playoff time. Now, make no mistake about it. In the end, the quarterback is going to have to make some big-time plays, or it's not really going to matter for you. The Bills did a better job of stopping Jonathan Taylor. So I think I'm going to lean Buffalo anyway. But I think this is going to be a very, very close finish. It might come down to which coach is super aggressive and gets rewarded for that aggressiveness. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't, right?
So who you got? Type R for the Baltimore Ravens. Type B for the Buffalo Bills. Tom sounds like he's going to go with the Bills. I am also going to go with the Buffalo Bills. I'm just putting my money on this guy right here, who was sensational against the Indianapolis Colts. Hopefully they got this man an ice pack from carrying the team. 324 passing yards, 26 of 35, 54 rushing yards, 3 total touchdowns. When you saw the Bills' offense at the end of the year, they took it a little bit easier on Allen. Now it's playoff time, and they're like, okay, Josh, go out, win us a game. It honestly reminded me a lot of when you saw, I don't know, the Cavs or the Bulls late in the games are like, okay, Michael, make something happen.
Yeah, you give it to your most important and best player. Like that's pretty logical there. There was the one moment where I was like, oh no, bad Josh Allen. I just sent out a tweet like he's taken such a big step forward this year. He changed his mechanics. He was awesome, and he almost fumbles for a score like the very next play, but he ended up getting it back, so it was not a big deal. I think Allen's growth this year, and this is what he did away from the team during the COVID offseason, overhauling his mechanics, his technique. That's the reason why this is a player who truly before this was not even a 60% completion guy.
At Wyoming.
Was never, or in high school. Like, he couldn't get to 60%. Now he's at almost 70. That is a substantial growth.
That's why Brian Daboll is basically on every single hot board to go out.
And Allen did a lot of it on his own and gets a lot of credit too.
So there's also a quarterback, maybe you guys have heard of him. He won the MVP last year, Lamar Jackson, who started out slow against the Titans and then said, okay, hang on a second, I'm sick and tired of the criticism. Didn't really light it up through the air, but he didn't really have to. He obviously made his biggest impact on the ground, a long touchdown run, I believe it was like 48 yards, 136 on the ground, a touchdown. The interception was bad, and when he threw that interception, I was like, oh no, we're about to get bad Lamar. That was an absolute duck. But he bounced back, got it together, and I'll also give Lamar some credit on his post-game speech. It was all they were trying to say, Lamar, what did you do? What did you do? And he was like, team, team, team. You could tell that the Ravens wanted to win that game, and especially when they were, out stomping on the logo.
He's going to continue to have success on the ground. You will need a better performance through the air, though. Eventually, he's going to have to make some significant and big-time plays through the air. We'll see what happens against Buffalo, but he is capable of doing that, especially if Marquise Brown plays like I think he did as of late. He's been not great as of late.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Ravens at the Buffalo Bills. I'll tell you what, I saw a lot of Bills fans out in support. That was the first game they were allowed to go to. Stefon Diggs was throwing some footballs there. Here's the thing, though, with Buffalo, it's cold, man. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I love about NFL face masks, obviously, you guys have to wear them, but in the cold weather, they help out a lot. Like, I walk to work every day. I got my mask on. I'm like, this thing's awesome.
That's why I like the neck gaiters, of which you can also buy some, by the way.
Exactly. So you guys can go ahead, get set up here. Chatsports.com/stay-safe. All 32 NFL teams. It's not just the ones in the playoffs, but obviously, if your team's in the playoffs, go ahead, rep them. We got awesome deals going on. So all 32 teams, they come in packs of 1, 2, 3, and 4. So many different styles, so many different fabrics. They're machine washable. If you are a big-time NFL fan, and guess what? It is starting to get colder out. Rep your favorite face mask. Do the right things, because I think all of us want 2021 to be a little bit better than 2020. All right, let's look at the Bills' offense going up against the Ravens' defense. Tom, what are you really going to be looking at here in this matchup?
I think it's going to come down to how Josh Allen fares against a very good Ravens defense. Again, it's funny how this worked out, right? A lot of these playoff matchups, you're getting some strengths against strengths. The Bills' offense, second in points per game, second in total yards. They've done a decent job of not turning the ball over. Now you get a Ravens team that's pretty much top 10 in all the major categories. Also second in points per game, of course, allowed for the defense there. And does a decent job of taking the ball away. Turnovers, of course, are always important. That's how almost all games end up being decided. I am excited to see this particular battle of the matchups.
So go ahead, predict the score, look into that crystal ball, let us know who's going to win this Bills versus Ravens game. So get your score predictions in. I'm going to go 28-24 Bills win.
27-25 Bills win.
Oh, okay. So you
Awkward
guys
score because that's how life works.
You guys let us know. Bills versus Ravens. Go ahead, get your comments right now.